Doesn't it suck that being responsible works?
Yes.
Totally.
It's efficient, damn
It
it.
completely goes against all of the rock and roll principles that I thought that I thought this would be about, you know?
All right, you were right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
I did lose my hearing a little bit.
I didn't think I was going to live this long, to be honest with you. You know what I mean? Like, I thought I was living the lifestyle for a while, and I was like, yeah, I'm totally going to be the part of the 27 club. I was going to ask you, how is the scene, the music scene out there, especially with your type of genre or similar genres for your music out there?
I mean, we found some really great musicians we've played with, mostly in St. Pete. And since I've been in the Orlando area, I've been going to a lot of, shows here, and it's awesome. There's some really great local bands.
But receptive.
But what we play, we'll see.
So no, I just meant like, because like, are they? You have a lot of like people that actively go out and like to watch local bands play live music and that sort of thing. Okay.
Especially we tend to play most of our shows in St. Pete, Florida, and the scene there is really good.
That's a great spot.
Yeah.
Really, really talented musicians, lots of really good bands, good fans as well.
Yeah. Supportive.
There's at least a couple venues where people will just go and see who is playing, which I feel like you don't get that very much anymore.
Right. No.
Just kind of like, hey, let's go see who's playing at the Benz tonight.
Right.
Which is very cool, and it makes it really fun to play there because you get to play for people who, otherwise wouldn't know of you.
Right. Show up and then come out going like, man, you guys were great. First time seeing you guys,
Exactly.
But they're regulars to that venue, like.
It's just whoever's playing that night, they're going to check them out.
Right.
Which is a good way to get new fans, right? I mean, that's a great way. If it's just you bringing out your same 10, 20 people or whatever every time or whatever.
Your wives.
Yeah. It's also really cool. There's a lot of, the scene is very young, which is cool. Like lots of really talented young bands.
Right.
Lots of punk. It's really cool to see like younger punk bands who are just like really good.
Right. Heck yeah. Yeah.
Warms your old heart a little bit.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You like brings you back.
Yeah.
Wishing you were a little bit younger than you were. Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
But yeah, lots of really great bands. If you find yourself in St. Pete, you can't go wrong. Just whoever's playing, it's probably good.
All right. One of the things that we always bring up with the episodes or the interviews is we always try to kind of zero in a little bit on a pain point just for artists, because we do have a lot of DIY artists that actually watch the podcast, and
At least 3.
yeah, at least 3, yeah. But so we always talk a little bit, we call them pain points. And so when we do the intake inform, we ask them like, what are some of the struggles you find? And we give a list. And I think one of them was just about having to do a lot while being an adult, I guess, like trying to take it all in.
I can kick us off on this one, and you guys can chime in because I was the one who filled out that sheet. So I think it's a lot easier to spend all your time practicing, spend all your time rehearsing as a band when you're a teenager or when you're 21. But when you're older, you got a career, you got family, you got responsibilities. It can be, you got to make the time for it. You got to be conscious about making the time for it. And then for us, it's just, I think we have so many things we want to do. We have a lot of songs we want to work on. There's just only so much time in the day.
Yeah.
And especially if it's like, all right, well, let's coordinate a time to meet up at Ryan's and record. Just coordinating schedules and
logistics is tough too.
Yeah, it's like if we had our way, it'd be like
record, but we can't do both at the same time. If we're writing new songs and recording and getting together for that, that's one. Or we can be playing shows and practicing for that. But it seems impossible to, because you got to play older songs to play live. You got to be rehearsing those. But if you're trying to put out a new album, you want to be playing all your new stuff. And yeah, it's
Well, it's not like back when you're kids, and everybody's kind of lives right there together, and you can get together and rehearse a couple of times a week, and you're gigging all the time. Because by gigging all the time, your set stays tight, and then you can devote rehearsal time to new material and working on stuff.
Yeah.
Run the set one time, or run a couple of the songs that you fucked up last time, or whatever. But for the most part, you're playing enough that
gigs are rehearsals, really, for your old stuff.
Gigs keep the old hold stuff tight.
Yeah.
I totally agree with that. It's about really prioritizing how you're going to use your time when you are able to get together. And I think that the great thing is when you get to this point that, you know, you are in your music career, and we're in a similar kind of a spot as far as age, experience, and whatnot. You know, the challenges of the logistics is that everybody's in it because they truly want to be in it, and it's something that brings them joy. And they're not doing it under the pressure of, we want to get signed, we want to make it big, we want to be rock stars. We're doing this because we have a goddamn great time doing it.
Yeah.
Exactly. I mean, we're not under any false aspirations that we're all of a sudden gonna be an opening band, you know, on tour for some big, and that's not why we're doing
that
it.
ship sailed years ago. You're like, I just want to be able to play, man. You know, like,
well, and the shitty thing is about it. I mean, in a lot of ways, is that if that opportunity came, can I put my career and now all my bills on hold to go? And I can't.
Those are major life choices, right there.
They'll understand.
That would be.
I will say this,
it's
a sabbatical.
What's that?
There you go.
I will say this, just to Friedman's pain point that we talked about there. I'm a big believer, and I think we found that this works for us. I'm a big believer in it. This sounds so boring when you're talking about music, but like putting shit on a calendar.
Yeah.
Makes stuff happen.
You have to plan. I have to. So this is what I have to do because I run a band, I run a podcast, I do all this stuff on YouTube, and I spend, like, right now we're only like maybe an hour. We're a little bit over an hour into this. This is the shortest part of my process with this podcast is the actual recording. So like 8 hours sometime in the future is going to be dedicated to editing all of this stuff. And
it's interesting. Like I said, if you don't put it on a calendar, it never happens. But there's power in all of a sudden, like, hey, we're going to do rehearsal on this date.
Yeah,
we all know it's that's the date. I've got practice, and we take that seriously. I will say none of us have ever had a practice. Not never. I mean, shit comes up, but it's very rare for like, guys, I'm not going to make it. Because
you got a general commitment from the guys, and that's important. You know, like we have, like Matt said, we rehearse every other Saturday, and then sometimes things come up. Kids got a soccer game or some sort of choir performance that, you know, you can't miss that stuff being a dad. So they're like, I can't make that one. So then we try to do an alternate the following Wednesday. So we'll do a Saturday, Wednesday, and then now that we have shows coming up, and not everyone can make the Wednesdays ones. Like Matt can only make the ones that are on the Saturdays, and so usually it's just the core guys, you know, like the rhythm section that shows up. But those are very helpful as far as tightening it up. But I know what you mean, and I have to spend every night. I have to like stop when I'm about to go to sleep, which is awfully early these days. I have to. It gets earlier and earlier. It's like I'll be climbing in bed. And she's like, "Why are you going to bed?" I'm like, "It's only 8:30."
Because I can.
Like, yeah, because I want to. Yeah. But I'll go on my reminders app and like just go, okay, what do I need to do? What didn't I get done today that I needed to get done, and make sure that so anything that comes up, I have to put a reminder in there. Otherwise I'll forget all about it.
Doesn't it suck that being responsible works?
Yes. It's efficient, damn it.
It completely goes against all of the rock and roll principles that I thought that I thought this would be about, you know.
All right, you were right.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
did lose my hearing a little bit.
I didn't think I was going to live this long, to be honest with you. You know what I mean? Like, I thought I was living the lifestyle for a while, and I was like, yeah, I'm totally going to be the part of the 27 club, you know?
Yeah. Well, we're totally it's better to burn out than fade away generation.
Yeah, so. It is.
To your point.
Oh, go ahead.
I was just going to say, to your point earlier, like, you know, you're young and you have these delusions like, oh, dude, we're going to get signed, like things like that. And that's cool in a way because it's kind of like a fire in your belly, but it's
a drive.
Yeah, it's almost more freeing at this stage when you're like you said, it's just because you like to do it. And it's freeing. It's not for any other reason than like, I really enjoy making music with these guys.
Right. It comes down to the foundation of how you guys started in the first place, you know? And I totally understand where you guys are coming from because there's no pressure in that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the pressure's gone. It's just fun.
Right.
Well, and also I think also with the availability of technology, but also being adults and having that mystical thing called expendable income. This is something that we do as a hobby, as a passion, as something that not having to worry about paying for studio time and paying for the mix and the mastering and everything like that. And honestly, with the advent of, digital music and everything, you can write, record, release a song all on your own, and you can do it all. And then, if you want physical media, that's the only part that you may have to go outside for. And it's really the DIY, this is a really great age for the DIY artist, because you can really find a global reach without leaving your living room. And it's not like back in the day when, you'd have a gig, and so you'd go to Kinko's and you'd fire off a couple thousand flyers, and then you'd spend the next night or two driving around town and posting them up in the record shops and the coffee shops and the bars.
I still want to do that, by the way, if I could.
Right.
I still do.
Do you? I was gonna say, I actually feel like driving around our area and just be like, is there any place that still hangs flyers?
Starbucks. I think that's the only place where I've ever seen
Starbucks. Yeah,
Starbucks.
The bar that you're actually performing at. Sometimes they'll be like, but
down here. So I live in Salt Lake City. Zach lives in a town called Layton, which is about half hour north of Salt Lake City. But down here and Layton is a lot further from Salt Lake than Salt Lake is from Layton, because I've got everything I need here. I don't and it's too far away. It's way out in the sticks. So, but we've got these great, game stores that are hosting now. They've got signs up throughout the neighborhoods. Come and join us for our D&D night. And they have live, anybody can just show up. We'll teach you how to play D&D. And then there's other nights where for more advanced players and stuff like that. And I'm guessing that, shops like that are a great place to try to promote. But it is, back in the day, Zach actually worked at Alpha Graphics, so we got a great deal. So I would drive the flyer, we'd copy it off, and then he and I would just take off and have a whole night of this place, that record shop, this record shop, all the record shops, Spencer's.
Going back to how we really started was we had a space. So Steve and I worked together for years. I mean, we met when I was 18 years old. You know what I mean? You were, what, 20-something at the time? 24 at the time. Okay. And we started working together. We started this company and went to websites and stuff like that. We found this really cool garage space, warehouse style thing. And we rented it out as an office. We had all this extra space, and we were like, we could throw shows here. That's really how it started.
That is
sick.
That's great, man. I love that.
A place to burn, man.
Yeah. And it was like, let's bring people to us instead of us always going to them and trying to find places. And that really helped solidify a lot. Ryan, he recorded 2 albums with 2 other bands in MySpace, and that's how we got, working together and all kinds of stuff. And it was just kind of became a thing that evolved because we made it happen. We were like,
right. Well, and having a great all age venue is so key. It's not only key for the kids that are in bands to have a place to burn, a place so that you're not limited by, 21 and over or a bar scene or
exactly.
You can start shows at a decent time that's not in the middle of the night. Because that's the thing now is like when luckily we're kind of starting over with a new band getting out on the scene now. So it's like we will be the opening act and we get to go on at 9 instead of we're playing. Oh yeah, we were playing this Lighthouse Lounge, man. Oh yeah, what time do you guys go on? We'll be on at about 11. Man,
dude,
that's way too late,
man,
dude.
So close, bro. I can't
catch you at the next one.
Yeah, exactly.
It's funny. I saw some meme or something the other day, and it was like, when I was a kid, my parents made me go to bed at 9 p.m. And I thought when I grow up, I'm going to be able to go to sleep whenever I want. Now that I'm a grown up, it turns out that time is 9 p.m.
Yeah, exactly.
All the shit that used to be punishments for us, man. You're going to bed early. You can't go out. You got to do. Okay, man. Don't put a gun to my head, man. I'll just stay in. All right, cool. Yeah, go to bed. I'm on it.
Yeah.
Steve and I are the old one.
Oh, go ahead.
Friedman's still cool. He still does stuff.
Yeah.
I'm the baby of the band.
Are you?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
right on.
but
Nice. So
spiritually, we're all the same age.
there you go. It doesn't matter. Well, you get to be a
our,
certain
our
age.
trombone player's the baby of our band. I think we're all
50
crap.
plus.
We're all 50 plus, and then our trombone player's like
30,
early 30s,
maybe 32. Something
yeah,
like
but
that.
he's a high school band teacher.
Oh, nice.
Cool. Nice. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Warping the youth of tomorrow, the next generation, man.
There you go. Yep.
So
That's cool. So you guys are playing your first gig in Salt Lake, or where are you playing at?
Ogden.
Ogden,
Yeah. So it's actually north, about 30 minutes from where I live. So about an hour away from.
about
Salt
an
Lake
hour
City.
north of me. So, but it used to be a super seedy railroad town, man. So it's like, you walk down the main drag and it's like, okay, this used to be the brothel, and this is where this guy got shot, and there's tunnels underneath, and this is, you get shanghaied and rolled out, and you'd wake up on a train car out somewhere in the middle of nowhere, and
That's never happened.
it has to.
Maybe in the 1800s.
Yeah. Well, back when trains
Oh, you're
were
giving
a thing,
giving
man.
him a history lesson. Okay.
It used to be that way. Now it's just Ogden, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll be doing it we're opening for a ska punk band that's really coming into their own here in Salt Lake, and we've had them on the show once, and we've gone out and seen them play a few times, and there's some really cool cats, and
Very
so,
very nice.
yeah,
Very good.
So
very cool.
Killer dudes. Nice
What are they
vibe.
called?
They're fun to. They're called Atypical Heroes.
Cool.
I'll send you a
Check
link
them out.
if you're into that.
they're a lot
Yeah,
of fun.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like punk ska,
I
you
didn't
know?
stop it.
Yeah. Yeah, I've always been a fan of ska, like since when I first heard. Well, actually, the first time I even really heard it, didn't know it was ska, was like Oingo Boingo back in the 80s, and then here in Utah, like in the early 90s, this like explosion of ska just became a thing. It was like all of the bands started touring here, and a bunch of local bands started popping up that were really great ska bands, and so there was a huge ska scene here in Utah during the 90s, and then kind of ska, you know how it is, it goes up and down, you hear it,
It never really goes away, man. It's
Right.
always there.
it's like herpes, yeah.
Ska is that what is the one I saw, that ska is the sound that plays inside a 15-year-old kid's head when he gets more mozzarella sticks.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. So, but anyway, they're a cool band, and I just feel grateful that they threw us a bone, because I would hit up other bands, and they're like, "Oh yeah, just let us know when you're ready," and then I'm like, "Okay, we're almost ready for a gig. You got anything coming up?" And they're like, "Oh, I don't know. We'll let you know." And
Our people will call your people.
yeah, exactly, one of those. And those guys called like, "Hey, we got a gig. You want it?" I'm like, where? Ogden. I'm all, "Oh yeah, let's do it." So.
It's good, man, because as you gentlemen well know, the rush of playing live on stage is like nothing else, man.
It's amazing.
It's addictive, and it's what we need. And it'll have been what, like 3.5 years since we played a live show.
Yeah. And
It'll be
this is
good
the
for the
first
soul.
time this
I'm ready.
band has played live together as Z Frequency.
Right. So it'll
Like,
be,
it's not-
there's going to be some growing pains. There'll be some awkward moments. There'll be some collisions, and probably
some-
a lot of ibuprofen the next
Yeah.
wailing and gnashing of teeth.
I've got one piece of advice: grab a bunch of GoPros and slap them up all over the place.
Oh,
and
yeah.
film
We will.
the
Yeah.
hell up, because
What I'm trying to do is, so like I have, I use my phone. Actually, I have an app called Stage Tracks, and it does the backing, because we use backing tracks as well. And it prints lyrics for me. And so as the song's going, the lyrics scroll. So like that way I remember what I'm singing, and without it, I'd be screwed, really. But it's pretty, it hides pretty well behind the mic stand. Like most people don't even notice it's really there, but
fine.
the problem I'm having is that I would love to live stream this, but I don't know how to live stream it. I gotta find somebody else's phone, or like
you need another phone. You can't do it.
yeah, or an iPad or something like that. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna work on that.
Well, and we've got a fair amount of video recording gear that we'll have.
We got
can set
tons
up
of
at
that. We will
different spots
definitely.
around. But yeah, I mean, I'm happy to volunteer my phone, because I remember my parts.
Damn.
Yeah, right. There you go.
What? Yeah.
Yeah, ask me if I care. Ask me
He
if
doesn't.
I care. No, I don't.
I remember my vocals too, but that's because they don't give me any.
Yeah, exactly. So, where can guys find you? Like, where's your home? Where do you like to hang out as far as socially, like
Social media.
social media wise?
Oh, okay. We're
Most
probably
Tik-
most active on TikTok.
Yeah, most
Okay.
active on TikTok for sure. We're
Instagram,
X-1 there. Yeah.
X minus
So
one.
Instagram, TikTok. We're gonna leave links to all your guys' stuff in the
Okay, cool.
description of the video, and so
Yeah,
people
we're
can
on
find
everything. We're probably just most active on TikTok.
it. Okay, because I always ask that because a lot of times bands will be everywhere, but they usually like to hang out in one or two places, and
Yeah.
that's where, like, if you want to reach
Yeah, I
out,
wanna-
like, if you
I
want to
really-
say hi to these guys, go there to say hi. you
Yeah,
know?
We were
TikTok and,
talking
and then
about-
Instagram would be the second.
We were talking about this the other day. We were like, man, we go all the way back to, we had a MySpace page. And I missed it.
Yeah. Yeah. Tom
And I missed it.
was
It
your fan.
awesome.
Tom was your
Yeah,
fan, man. I miss
MySpace was
Tom.
actually great for bands.
I loved MySpace.
It was, yeah.
It was definitely. It was even more effective, I think, in a lot of ways than the way it is now. You
Yeah,
could
'cause
kind of create your own page.
and all that stuff.
Yeah,
and
it had a player. Yeah, well, even Facebook when it first came out, you could embed a music player,
yeah.
and
Yep.
Yeah.
they changed all of that.
You know,
That's
my MySpace page, when you landed on it, you were assaulted by Barry Manilow, man. Because
Nice.
I am a fan of Low, and I am not afraid to admit it. And so I was going to share that
Yeah,
with the
baby.
world. So you got there's a big
Yeah.
old picture of Barry Manilow in his microphone, and I would alternate from song to song. It might be Mandy, it might be, sometimes it was Copacabana, but I kind of felt like that was cliche, and I could do better than that.
Well, I was just gonna say that I would have put you guys in my top 8, but now I don't know.
That's
I
all
don't know
right.
now.
That's right. You can,
You know, that's,
you can
but
put us
you know
in
what?
9. That's fine.
That's the great thing about being a man of a certain age is you stop giving a shit
Don't care.
about what anybody thinks about these weird things about you. And
But I tell you what, if we ever go to Florida, man, we'll have to like coordinate and
Please
Oh,
do.
yeah.
I'd
Sure.
love to do it. I mean, that's an ordeal. Now that I
Well,
think
you
about it,
you
like,
both mentioned you have kids. How old are your kids?
mine are mostly grown. 3 of them are in their 20s, but then I've got a 12-year-old.
Okay.
it's
Well,
pretty much the same. I got
Steve and
I
I
got a
are
20
20 minutes from Mickey Mouse. So if you ever find yourself, heading to
Nice.
Disney World or Universal,
yeah,
Hit us
we'll
up.
definitely.
Dig it, man.
Yeah, that's probably the realistic thing right there. Is that
Of course,
it'll just be
yeah.
one of us going, "Hey, man, we're gonna be in town. I'd like to come and hang out and say
Right.
hi." you know?
Man, I'm honestly really kind of chomping at the bit to go check out Epic Universe, man. That looks
yeah,
looks
me
pretty-
too.
it
I still
looks
haven't
pretty
been.
insane, man.
Yeah.
I have not been. My son is dying to go. I have a 9-year-old, and he's like
Cool.
begging.
But yeah,
So-
if you're in our neck of the woods, please hit us up.
For sure. Do you have any kids, Friedman?
I do not.
Oh.
Yeah.
Lucky.
Not that he
Good
knows of.
for you.
I have a-
Yeah.
Yeah. He's like, we all drive the minivan. No. I have a 24-year-old, a 19-year-old, or no, he's going to be 20 here next month or in a couple months, and then I have a 12-year-old.
Oh, nice.
And then and I'm done. And I'm done. I'm done after that.
Any artists that are watching, anybody promoting their stuff, I think this is a testament to the the effective nature of posting on things like posting on things like TikTok and doing that in a creative, eye-catching way. Because a band from Florida posted a TikTok, some chump in Utah saw it, liked it, decided it happened to have a podcast, so I'm going to do a feature on this band, and that turns into a full episode interview with this band.
Yeah, and we made
Not
friends.
only- Right,
We're all-
we made
yeah,
friends.
exactly.
We found some of it. It's kind of like one of those moments, like the No Rain video from Blind Melon, when the little girl finally finds the other weirdos in the field
Yes.
dressed as bumblebees. Man, it's like, yeah, my people.
Although
Yeah.
I do wish Ryan was here because I think I could nerd out with him a little bit on the
100.
Yeah.
when it comes
How-
to the production stuff.
Do you guys
but-
kind of have an idea of a time frame of when you're going to release the next album, or is that still kind of up in the
It's
air?
pretty
Still up in
tough
the
to
air, but we're
say.
getting close. We're close. We got to get the last vocals I still got to do all the bass parts, but that's not going to take too long.
You think within 2026 though?
Oh,
Yeah,
this
I
year.
think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm hoping
Yeah.
for October, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That sounds to me, like in my head, I'm like, yeah, that sounds about right.
It's easy for us to say because we get our parts done and then we don't have to do the mixing and mastering.
Right.
Ryan does. So
Right.
That's what that's like, Zach. As soon as we get done tracking a new song or whatever, man, I'm bugging the shit out of Zach.
Yeah.
Hey, Zach, can you send me the rough cut?
Yeah.
Can you send me the rough? Is it mixed yet? Do you have it? Can I hear it? Can I hear it?
You know, and I don't want to put words in Ryan's mouth, but we've gone through it a few times with him. And even before X-1, I went through stuff that he was recording and all kinds of stuff with the years. He was in a really awesome band called Villanova Junction and did a whole bunch of stuff. And it's funny, I'm sure you know this, Zach, when you start mixing it, you start to hate it after a while.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds good.
Or by the time it comes out, I'm done with it, right? Like I have heard that song 1,000 times, and then you have to pretend like you're excited about it. Hey, my new song's coming out, even though I've heard it over and over and over and over and over and over and over.
But then
again.
it comes
really,
back
I'm
full
really
circle.
excited about this song that I'm working on now, and so I mean, your excitement level as the creator of the music is never on that song that's being released, because now
It's
you're
on the
moving
next
on to
one.
a new song and you're excited
Correct.
about
You are,
this new one
you've already moved on from it, you know.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's like
And
the
it's
light
tough,
from a
but-
star. We're seeing light that was here,
Yeah.
a million years ago.
But I think one way to help kind of rejuvenate that is share it with some people that haven't heard it yet, like within your circle, and just be like, what do you think of this? And then sometimes they'll get excited about it, and that kind of lightens it up a little bit. And, even though you've heard it 1,000 times, and when you play gigs, you're probably going to play it every gig you play. There was always that one song that you never really liked, but everybody loved. So it was on every set list you ever did, and I have those as well. But yeah,
Honestly, the physical release too, once you get the CD in your hands, you're like, all right, I got to pop this in and play it.
right.
And then it's exciting again.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, for sure.
I rarely listen to my own stuff though. And every now and then I'll like be all nostalgic and listen to, something I did a year or 2 years ago. And sometimes I'm like, oh, that was pretty good. And then other times I'm like, I'm glad
That's
nobody.
the next part of what I
up.
was saying. When you're in the middle of doing it, you hate it, and then somehow you get through that, and then you come back around full circle. It's like, actually,
Oh my
pretty
God,
pleased with
that's
that,
really
but it's
good.
all
Right.
Right.
Well, and
Yeah.
I just went through this. So we've got a new release coming out in April called Queen Bee, and it's a blues song that's kind of got reggae vibe into it with horns. But I originally wrote it because back in like 2010, right around that time, I started getting really into cigar box guitar and just
cool.
the real rustic stuff, really bluesy, And I wrote this song on one of those cigar box guitars, and I think I created a song in like 2015, and this was before I put it up on Spotify or whatever, but my friend had submitted it to like Utah Music Awards, their little whatever, and it got nominated for Best Alternative Song for 2015. And I didn't win it, but I did end up going to the ceremony or whatever. I got a ticket to go, I guess. I don't know. I didn't even know what the prize was, to be honest with you. But
A new
I just,
car.
Yeah, a new car. I decided to let's just do it, and everyone's been enjoying that. So the long story short of this, though, is I've been mixing it, and I've been there's just been, and I could never put my finger on it. It was something that was just driving me crazy about this. I'm like, I don't like this mix. I hate this mix. I hate this mix. I can't stand it, And my wife had said, she's like, there's a song, Thrill Seeker, that we did. She's like, you acted the same way, and you spent like a whole bunch extra hours mixing this song, and you hated it by the time it came out. You didn't like anything of the mix, and when it came out, people were like, dude, this is the best mix you've done, and so there's that vindication. You're like, oh, okay, well, maybe it was good. I don't know.
Just got to trust the process.
Yeah, well, and really what it came down to was I used to work everything on a PC, and then I just recently switched over to a Mac, and so I'm trying to learn Logic Pro, which is the DAW system that they have.
Yeah.
And the problem I had was I knew what I wanted as an engineer. I just didn't know how to get it, because I'm like, I don't know what to do here. And luckily another bandmate's like, because I said I need volume automation, is what I need, and so he showed me how to do it. made all the difference. I'm like, okay, there it is. There it is. So yeah, but it's all good. So my whole philosophy is like, once you're done with it and you feel like you don't want to overbake anything, because then you're just going to ruin it, you know? And so at some point you have to be willing to just let it go. Like, this may not be the best thing I can do, but this is the best I can do right now. And I have to be okay with that. Totally. And it turns out to be kind of a good thing, because as fans, you know, grow with you, they also grow in the sound that you create, you know, like, oh yeah, I remember this is really raw, you know, this is a really raw sounding. I love that, you know, and, it has its place. So
for sure,
things happen for a reason that way. So yeah, I love that you guys are doing this all yourself too. Plus, I mean, probably it saves money, you know, like anymore, it's almost impossible to afford to do anything, you know, like you kind of have to do it all yourself unless you're rich, you know, because you got to be the manager of their social media, you got to be your own engineer, you got to be your mastering engineer.
The only thing I wish, I got one pain point that probably wasn't in the list real quick, and I know we got to wrap up, but one thing I wish we had, and I always joke that it's the fifth Beatle or whatever, I wish every band had somebody that could go to the venue and tell them if the levels are wrong. Because it drives me crazy how many venues we go to and the vocals are totally out of balance with whatever. And it's like, are you even listening? Are you even listening to what, you know, that drives me crazy. Because
you know what I've
no control over that.
Yeah. You know what I've learned, right, Nick?
Yeah.
Yeah. This is what I learned, Nick, is when you go to a venue, a lot of engineers, for whatever reason, they start with the kick. Like, let me hear your kick. And then they go through the drum set, and then they go through the guitar, and then they bring the vocals last. Well, by then everything is mixed to a certain level that the vocals can't get any higher. They can only go so high before you start clipping out and you get feedback. And you should start with the vocals first. Yeah. Then you can go through and bring everybody up to it. Like, really just turning down actually makes a difference.
Yeah.
So that the trick to that is just like, and I don't know if you have an engineer that, you know, you can work with, but just like, look, just turn things down a little bit, because people will even bring up to the close.
You know, when you go
about balance,
when you get place and play a gig, you're at the mercy of their sound system or whatever.
Right.
Well, their sound guy.
Right. That's what I mean. Their sound guy.
Right. Well, and sound guys are all very, very particular about how they're doing things, and some are more open to suggestion
some
from
don't
somebody that's with the band, and
say.
some do not want to hear a damn thing. This is my plane, my board. You need
a tale as old as time.
Tell you what.
And you can only do so much. And so I mentioned that, like, hey, have you ever thought of just mixing the vocals first and then bringing everything up to it, so that way you're not peaking out and not over, because it's just as easy. Like, if it doesn't have to blast all the way across the room. Like, if people wanted to hear you, they can come up closer, which the bands probably prefer, you know, to being up there instead of way back. Like, oh, I can hear you, I'm clear back by the door, but I can hear you just fine, you know.
Your in-ears probably help a lot.
Yes, in-ears. We use in-ears all the time. Like, that's actually our way. And so our mix sounds great in our head. I have no control of what it sounds like outside, you know.
Yeah.
So but
we'll dig it.
All right, cool. Well, thank you guys. You guys are awesome. And
thank you.
I know it's getting late there in Florida, but we'll have to do this again for sure. Keep in touch. You guys are awesome, man. Tell Ryan he missed out, and tell him that Zach, the host, missed him, because I wanted to.
We will.
I could have gone in the weeds with him about mixing and engineering, but it's
well,
all good.
that's the thing, though. We'll have you back on when you're ready to release the new album, and we can get Ryan in here, and then we'll have a whole untapped tight rabbit hole to go down. And Zach can geek out over engineering, and the rest of us will just sit here and drink Coronas and call.
Nobody really wants to hear about the engineering stuff, though. Like, it's like you see the dip in the YouTube, like, oh, exactly.
Well, it sounds like a plan to me.
All right, man.
All right.
Well, you guys have a good night.
Man, I'm ready to go build a rocket ship after that one. Huge thanks to X-1 for hanging out with us tonight.
Seriously, if you guys dig that fuzzy sci-fi sound, go stream their album, Lust in Space, right now. We put the link in the description.
And while you're down there, make sure you hit subscribe and follow so you don't miss any of our artist interviews.
We're back every week with more independent music stories. Thanks for listening to the ZHZ Podcast, and we'll see you on the next one.
Catch you on the flip side.